Well, hello there. Ooh, I don't know what I sound like, but it sounded weird. Anyway, hi. How are you? This is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a minute. I think my last video was December for the hop. So, hey, I'm not even going to explain, justify, whatever. Not that I have to justify, but you know what I mean. And I'm slipping off this chair, so give me a second before I spill something. I've got a pad on my chair to help with the posture, and it takes getting used to. Anyway, hi again. First, wow, it's been a while. If you are new here, welcome. Hope you subscribe. Hope you stick around. But if you don't, thanks for stopping by. To all you OGs, it's been a minute. I haven't been watching a lot of videos. I've tried to catch ones here and there, but it's just time's not working out. So time, life, nothing horrible, just lifing. Yeah, today is Friday, February 14th. Hey, oh, that's right, happy Valentine's. I don't do most of the holiday thingies, so happy Valentine's. If you celebrate and all that. What else? That's it. Why are we here? Just to catch up a little bit. I have a mountain of things here. I have whips. I haven't been obviously making videos, but I've been crocheting, always crocheting, knitting a little, but my default is always to crochet something, so I've been doing that. Typically it's a hat. Actually, I've been knitting hats. We'll talk about that. But typically I crochet a hat, but I've been knitting hats, like I said, and obviously making amigurumis. I'm still in amigurumi phase, and I just washed my hands and I forgot to put lotion, so I may have to pause to go rehydrate the skin. I signed up for spring craft fairs again, one in May, one in June, so I am in amigurumi mode still, and yeah, that's it, just to catch up. So having some tea. Oh, it's right at the perfect temperature right now. Okay, what are we talking about? Let's see. I don't know. I haven't caught up. I can't speak today. I haven't been keeping up with a lot of what's going on. Kim, Crafty Nomad, I'm going to try to do the hop again. I said I wasn't going to do any alongs, but I do, since this is just 4 times, I do want to keep doing it, but who knows? I haven't picked a project, but I never pick a project until, you know, the last minute usually, so we'll see. But I'm still making amigurumis. It calms my soul. It makes me happy. I'm still in shawl mode. I'm still making shawls, so we'll talk about those. And on that note, I've got my phone to remind me what I've been making, because I just make it and put it aside. And since I just signed up for a couple of craft fairs, I'm trying to be more conscientious and take photos, which is why I have a pile, and tag things and put them away instead of waiting till the last minute. So, no particular order. Since I mentioned knitting, I have been making a concerted effort to use my stash. I know, we all say that, and we all have good intentions, but you know how it goes. A concerted effort also to not buy yarn. Ha! Yeah. It's not a ban or pause, but it's more of a, what's the word? I want to say discernment, but that's not the right word. To be more, what's the word? Intentional with the yarn that I buy. Meaning, it's stuff that I know that I will be using for craft fairs and things to come. Before, it would just be a sale and I would just grab everything I can, and no, we're not doing that anymore. So my yarn buying has been obviously you guys know I'm a bulky, super bulky girl. So the toys, the chenille yarns, the thick ones and all that. And I did buy some skinny ones from, I think it was from Hirschner. Yeah. Lisa of Happy to Hook. Hey Lisa. She bought those as well. And I think she's using it like single stranded. No, mine is double or triple. Yeah, there will be no single stranding. So I have some items. I bought that. I'm all over the place. I did buy that. I did hit up, I think it was it Joann's or Hirschner's? One of them had a really good sale on, no, I think it was Lion Brand. Somebody had a really good sale at one point. Pretty sure it was Lion Brand. And Thick and Quick was on there, and I used that for my fall stuff a lot. So it was like $4.97 or for whatever. So I basically got like over $200 worth of yarn for like $99 and change. So you couldn't pass that up, you know. And free shipping and the whole 9 yards. So I did that. I purchased from Mary Maxim for all the blanket yarns that has been on sale. I just made another purchase because it was too good to pass up, and it's stuff I'll use for the fall. And I did buy from Joann's. Oh, Joann's. We know about Joann's, right? We're sad, but things change, things happen. We just have to find a way around it. But it'll be sad not to have a store to, you know, at least just go do a little wander around, see what's there, touch, feel, squish. That's going to be the hard part. But I don't like the way they ship things. So it's not like when you buy from Hirschner's or somewhere else and I guess they have a central location or whatever. They pack everything. The way Joann's does it, they ship it from different stores. That's why you get it in like so many packages. So Rose, hey Rose, Rose likes crochet. I'm name dropping all over the place today. She did a purchase, and she said she got hers really quickly on all in one package. I made a purchase, I think maybe a week before hers or two, and it came in 4 or 5 different deliveries. One of the deliveries was just one skein. So it's like they're getting it from whatever store has it available, which stinks. Also with Joann's, in November I made a purchase because I had somebody, I think I'd mentioned it on a previous video. This is going to be a long one, by the way. I had somebody who bought a shawl from me at one of the craft fairs, and it was one of my pricier shawls, and she said she lost it somewhere. She traveled and lost it, so she contacted me and wanted to see if I had something else. This was like just a one-off shawl. I think it was part of one of the longs that I did. And I told her, and that one was like all in single crochet, so you know it would take forever. I told her it took me like 3 months to make the shawl because I didn't do it all at once, and that yarn was not available anymore. So I got her to agree to a more user-friendly, I guess, washable type, easier to manage yarn. I ended up using Scarfe for it, but before that, the shawl that I had made her was out of what was it? Feels like, no, Touch of Alpaca, and it's really hard. I don't even know if they still make it or they're just getting rid of whatever is still there. But it was really hard to find the 2 colors, and no, not the colors that I used before, but she wanted red and black, and it was hard to find. I ended up finding it in a 3-pack from Joann's, bought it. It said it was delivered through FedEx, got the notification. The day I got the notification, I went later in the day, it wasn't there, so I figured I'd give them a day or so to get it to my box. Wasn't there, and basically FedEx says it was delivered, the post office, nowhere in sight. Now, mind you, I've had issues at the post office where I have a box and I get notification when there's something in there. About 2 or 3 times before that, I would go in, I know it was delivered, but there was no notification. When they went to look, they said no, nothing. Then they went back and looked and found my box. 2 or 3 times that happened, so I figured that was the case. So I gave it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing. So I ended up contacting Joann's. Took them a while to get back to me, and they eventually refunded me, is what I was trying to say. I thought it was going to be a lost cause, but it was hard. I couldn't find those colors anymore, so yeah, it's been issue after issue, so we know what's going on with Joann. All this to say, So yeah, all this to say, I've made purchases. I have a, I do it with my phone. I have a Mary Maxim order coming. I have a Lion Brand order coming. And I think that's it. Because the last order I just picked up, I think it was the last of my Joann's order I picked up. Yeah. Is it Joann's? Yes. Actually, I'm looking at some of them. The last order I did came in two sets. I ordered some Vortex. I saw somebody, I think it was Heather the Crochet Witch. She was showing them. And, you know, I was resisting, and then I went to look. And I had it all in my cart. I left it for a while. I think maybe hours or maybe the next day. By the time I went back to the cart, no, it was the same day. Everything but 2 colors I had in my cart were sold out, and I ended up just getting 2 colors. I'll show those to you in a bit. And then I bought some, it's not sprinkles. Hang on. Okay. Hopefully the lighting isn't going in and out, because it's after 5. It's almost 5:30 right now. So I started this 11 minutes ago. Joann's yarn, Vortex. I got 3 of this color, which is, I know I totally pivoted, right? Neon Rainforest. And it reminds me of Ferris wheel, and there's another line, I forget. But those go through the circular machines pretty nicely, so I figured I would do headbands, maybe even hats, but I was almost completely out of that type of circular machine headbands last craft fair season. But anyway, it is obviously a number 4 worsted. Recommends 5.5 needles and 6.5 hook, and it's got the Ocotech seal, and it is 100% acrylic, 328 yards, 150 grams, 5.29 ounces. So that's that, and then the color. Now it's a little bright because of the light behind the camera, but it is actually, no, that's a pretty good representation. Yeah. I like it. Hoping for headbands. So I got that color with the Neon Rainforest, 3 of those, and 4 of the Mountain Mist, which is grays and off-whites and like a light tan color almost, but neutral. Yeah, that's it right there. Very neutral. So I have 4 of these, so I figured I will make a couple of hats, which will be men color or neutral or more masculine colors, since I had quite a few more men come by my booth this year than in previous years, but I don't sell to a lot of men. So I got those, and then the other thing that I bought was a whole bunch of jelly bean. That's what it is. So I bought a few colors. I don't know if I'll be able to pull all of them out. Ooh, that red is lovely. Ta-da! Bear with me. I think I got a bunch of colors. Yes, I did. I am not going to be able to hold all these up. Actually, maybe I will. I got all of these. There you go. So all these colors. I got one of the neon one, which is name Sour Green Apple. It's more like a neon. It is quite quite neon-y. I got one of those. Sizzling Cinnamon. It's a very Christmassy red, I would say. I got 2 of these. It's a little brighter on camera. And the plan is for headbands for all of these. Root Beer Float. It's like a beigey color with black string and colors in there. I think I got 2 of these. No, 1 of these. 2 of the Rock Candy. It's a gray. Looks kind of blue, but it's gray. Oh, it's actually way brighter on camera. Yeah, it's more of a darker gray. And then Bubblegum Base. Another bright color. Pink. Almost neon-y pink. Superman Ice Cream. Yeah, it's almost accurate. And I think I showed the root beer float already. Yeah, I did. I got 2 root beer floats. 2 of the gray rock candy, I believe. Yep. So, I bought yarn. I digressed. I bought yarn and I dropped stuff. And don't mind the hair. It was up and I just took it down for the camera because I was looking a hot mess. Anyway, I need to go close the windows because when I started this there was a light, but now, isn't it lovely that it's light again now? Ugh, at 5 o'clock. But anyway, if anyone passes by they'll see me talking to nothing in particular. But what I've been doing, I started with the yarn because I've been trying to use up stash. Concerted effort to use up stash, especially the stuff that's been there a while. And I was in shawl mode and I was trying to use it for that. Or I'm basically trying to use up the acrylic 4-weight type yarns that I have that I don't do amigurumis out of that as much. Not that I don't, but I don't use it as much as the chenilles and stuff. That's where we are right now, and that's what I'm using. But I have had one of my favorite yarns was Lion Brand's Lion's Pride Wool Spun. And I had a ton of it. Then they took it away. Big tear. Then they brought it back. And then they took it away again. But I had a stash of it. And I finally used up all of my stash. When I was making the shawl for the person who had lost hers, I will show a picture of that, obviously, because it's gone. So I'll have to remember to put a picture of that in here. But when I was going through my stash to see if I had anything red or black, I know I wouldn't have had a lot of black yarn, but in the bowels of my cubbies, I might have had some red. Didn't, which is why I ordered. But I'm like, oh, I have all my wool spun. And I know I put it in the back just because I wanted to hold on to it because it was so near and dear to me. But I finally decided to use it all. And I had this rust color. I don't remember the name. But one of my go-to shawls. It's easy. It's adaptable. It's basically a double crochet shawl that increases in the center and at the end, but it's a bigger increase than normal. So it makes the shawl the way I like it. I don't like a deep V triangle shawl. It's a V, but I want it to be a little more gradual, where you have a little more width and you have a long arm span. So the Big Sky Shawl by Tamara Kelly, or Moogly blog, but Tamara Kelly. She has that, and she also has the Brown Butter Shawl, which is a little more filet space gappy in there. But the Big Sky is it's a Big Sky prayer shawl. It's more of a solid solid double crochet shawl. So I use that, and I add different stitches in where I see fit to give it just to break up the monotony and just to give it some interest. So I either add a fillet row or a fillet row and cross stitches, X stitches. So, oh, it's definitely brighter on camera. This gives it more of an orangey rust color, whereas it's more of a brown rust color. But it's huge. So I used up all the rest of this color to make the Big Sky Shawl, and you can see where the fillet row is. And I did 2 sets of fillet rows. So here, where my finger is just the double crochet chain one, skip one, and then 2 rows below it I did the X stitch, and I'm definitely gonna have to pause because Father Minion just pulled in. But I used all of it, and I always try to use as much as possible. And whatever I run out, I use for tassels in the center and at the end. So that's all of that I have left of that Big Sky shawl. And then I was on a Big Sky shawl kick, and I still am, because it's quick and it's a way to use up that stash. So more of that to come at some point. I do have another one finished in a different yarn, but with the and this is probably gonna shut off on me pretty soon, but I said I was knitting, and I used the others that I had to make hats, knit hats. Basically a 1x1 rib hat. Let me see, which one did I do first? So this one, I forget the color, the colorway name, but it's just 1x1 ribbing. It looks small, but it accommodates a lot of head sizes. It stretches to fit. You could wear it long as a slouchy, or cuffed, or more beanie fit. So it's grays and reds and tans, so I used that. And then I had I don't think I had a full skein. I didn't have a full skein of this green color, this olive kind of colorway, and then I had the variegated that had bits of the olive in it. So I put these two together. I used the olive until it was done, and then I did the helico, but you can't really see it because of the variegated yarn, but the green is up top up here. But yeah, so that's two. And I used a 6mm with what did I do? One of them was 64 I cast on, and then one was 72. I forget which is which. So that's that. And then this one, I had a little bit of the variegated green colors of this and a little bit of this left, so I put them together in here for that. And I did the helico thing again, but again, because they're variegated, you really can't tell. But yeah, I love these because they're mindless, really, and portable. So last of my wool spun, Crochet and Knit. Pam's Crochet and Knit Corner. She's a wool spun fan, like I am, but my stash is gone. All done. And I'm still knitting hats and still trying to use stash. Oop, my head just fell. So, oop. Oh, and Minion 2 just pulled in as well, so soon you'll hear life noises. I also have a stash of Woolies tonal. So you have Woolies Thick and Quick, then you have Woolies the number 4. They have a Woolies DK as well, but then they had basically Woolies tonal was the bulky, the number 5 version, and again, tonal colors. So I had a good stash of those. I know I've got them on clearance somewhere. I still have, yep, cut off. I still had a couple of balls of brown ones there that I need to make hats, but I'm doing the same thing. So this is Crimson, it's called? I forget. I think it's Crimson. But 2x2. I think this one was 72 because it feels looser. But yeah. So this is Woolies Tonal. And then I had a partial skein of brown and a little bit of a beige color. So this one is definitely a smaller head, or anybody who likes, you know, the shorter fit to it. It is cuffed, but it is definitely a smaller one. But I started off with the brown because I wanted it to just have a little interest. Then I used up all the beige, and then I went into brown. And this is the color. I think I have a skein or two left, and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, you're gonna hear life noises because life noises. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, Woolies tonal. I love these. The 2x2. I do it on 6mm. What, 6.5 was a little too loose for me, I think. I don't know, but it works for me. I love the stretchiness, and I really liked this yarn, but it was way back in the cubby. So anyway, basically using up deep. This is deep stash, just like the wool spun. It's very deep stash. So that's that. And I have another one on the go. Hang on. It is on the go because I had a small ball of black and half a skein of blue. So this one's on the needles. I had this much black. Actually, I have this much black left. I did a couple of rows here, and then I have this. So I added the blue here, and then I think I have enough, I think, to do, maybe not. I will try it and see if I have enough for one row. If not, I'll take back and keep going with the blue from there on. So that one is in the works. That has been my portable work, my portable work project. One of 2 or 3 that I have, depends on how bored I get. So that's a whip. Alright, so those are the hats. I like the knit hats because it's smaller, it's easier to squish down. And what else? So we did yarn, we did that. I have a couple other shawls that I did. Like I said, I have 2 more that's finished and another one on the go. So I told you that the Big Sky shawl is my go-to, and I was at Michael's when I was looking for the shawl for that order. When I was looking for yarn for that order, red and black yarn, I was at Michael's, and then they had this textured twist yarn. It's basically homespun yarn. And Claudia, hey Claudia, it's been a while. She calls it hellspun. I don't mind it at all. Actually, a friend of mine just gave me 3 or 4 skeins because we were talking about it. Because I had her go back to Michael's to look for this for me, and Michael's near her work. But anyway, they had it on clearance for $3. I bought 6 skeins. I bought 6 skeins, and I didn't need it, but I like the colors. So of this one, which is greens and teals and golds, I made another Big Sky shawl. And again, you can see the this one I just did the 1 row of filet crochet instead of doing the, actually no, I did filet and then I did a row of cross X stitches on that. But the yarn colors is all the yarn, and it's busy enough that it doesn't need anything fancy. And again, 3 skeins, and I used the rest of it for tassels. So that, I'm contemplating listing it in my Etsy shop, but it's definitely going in inventory for the fall craft fair. And then this one, I love these colors. I did Elvira shawl. So this is the same yarn, but I bought 3 colors because at the time I think that's all they had of that. I don't remember the colors, but isn't that gorgeous? Ah! I did my own kind of fade. So there was 1 skein of this pink color, and then this multi skein had the pinks in there, you can see the teal, almost purpley color, and gold, and then I had this one skein of gold. So yeah, virus shawl. I will put pictures of these so you can get a better view, but I absolutely love the colors in this one. I went back to see if they had any more at the Michaels where I bought it. They did not. They were all gone. No, they weren't gone. I bought, hang on. They were all out of these gorgeous, more saturated colors. No, they weren't. They had one more of the golds left. Oh, and you don't notice the, it looks like red or orange in there, but it's not really. I think it's just the lighting. But then they also had this, which is gorgeous. Gorgeous! This one is... Michael's put their color names in a different spot now. Burnt orange. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then this one is just called Glow. So, they had these two. So I'd asked my friend, what did I start? Hang on. I apologize for being all over the place. I wasn't prepared at all. I just decided to make a video. I did go back and I got another of the pink, which was called Rose Garden. And this one was just called Rose. I got this as well when I first bought it. I'd gotten two of those. So I decided, I found this shawl. I have a gazillion things in my Ravelry library that I want to make. And back in the day, I used to just save every free pattern or everything that sparked my fancy. Now I'm a little more discerning of what I put in there. But I decided to go back to see what I'd saved and make something. Sometimes I get bored and I don't know what to make. And since I'm on a shawl kick, I went through all the shawls and I found this one. It's called No Stopping Me Now, I think it's called. It'll be linked below. I don't remember. Oh, actually. Do I have... Nope. This is that. We'll talk about No Stopping Me shawl. No Stopping Me Now shawl. Ah, it's by Marley Bird. So, I'm making that. And it's just, I think it's just a 2-row repeat. And it's going to need to have a good steam block. But you could see it's just 2 rows. It's this row and then that more open row in between. 2-row repeat. So I used what did I do? I used one of the Rose Garden up top, and I was just gonna do, I think at the time I only had one of this pink, so I did that in the middle. I was just going to do color block, and then I wasn't sure if I'd have enough, so I decided to kind of intersperse the colors. And then I had my friend go see if they had any more of the Rose Garden, which they didn't. So after I'm done with this, which I am on the bottom working on it, that'll be it for the Rose Garden. But she did find that they had 3 more of the regular rose, so she got those for me. And I can't remember if I bought this one or if she got it. I think I might have bought that one too. And that's just a beige color called Linen. Yeah, that's about the color. So I've been on a bit of a yarn buying binge, which is bad, but I'm using it because all the previous ones I bought, I'm using it. I love these. Very Valentine-y, and I was doing it and I had to stop to do something else, and I kind of lost steam on this one. And right now it's my night project, but I haven't worked on it for over a week, so. But I want to get it finished since it's a 2-row repeat. So, and you know how we turn everything into a project bag. I got a Christmas present in this little bag. It became a project bag, of course. You know how we do. We do. I did start the No Stopping Me shawl in this old stash from the last time I shopped at Hobby Lobby, which was pre-pandemic. They had, this was during their annual clearance, Yarn Bee Fair aisle. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 in this color, which was blues and grays. It's a very light number 4 yarn. Oh, the glasses. It's 80% acrylic, 20% alpaca. So, and I can't see, oh, blues and blue-gray multi is the color, so it's a little brighter on camera, but blues and grays. So I started the No Stopping Me, and I did not like it in this at all, and it was taking too long. You can't even tell, but I didn't like it. So I stopped it, and then I started it in this one, and obviously you can see it moved way quicker. So what am I doing with this? I'm going to rip back, and oops, I also have one in Sky Beautiful, which is pinks and blues and grays. Is it grays? Yeah. Pinks, blues, grays, and whites. So, one second. I said that I didn't have a lot of the knitting machine headbands at my last craft season. So, I don't like the way this was working up in a shawl, so I still have to weave in the ends, but I am making headbands. Also, I guess you could see how it knits up. Stripey, and I'm not a fan of the Fair Isle look or this colorway at all. So I got 2.5 or 3.5 out of one ball. I think 3.5. Or was it 2? I forget. I think 2.5 or 3.5 out of one ball. And I am going to use the rest just to make headbands out of them. It's a little thin, even if I were to make hats out of it. So, and I'm using the, am I using the big one? Where did I set it? I thought I was using the 40, but I might be using the 48. Hang on. I am using the 40 pin Centro. So, headbands. Oops. Yeah. I did make one, but I think I'm going to have to undo it because it's a little big. I had a partial skein of, I don't even remember the yarn, but it's been there for a while, and it was the different colorways, a different thickness. This is all one cake, and the black part is very thick. The gray is a little less thick, but this off-white and gray mix is very thin, so when it goes through the machine you could just tell the difference. It's very clunky when it goes through for the black, but then it's smooth through here. But anyway, I made this too big, even for my, yeah, it's loose on me, and I have a big noggin. It's not bad. But, and I've already sealed it. Oh, you get to see me. There you go. Too big. So, it's already all sewn and everything, so I'm going to have to snip it, because even if I keep it for myself, it's big enough where it'll stretch too much. So, it'll be a redo at some point, and it just fell behind something, so if I don't pick it up after this, it's going to get lost. But, okay, so that's that. Shawls. Just had a amigurumi avalanche. My desk is a complete mess. I'm also trying to use up all my cotton, and I had some partial skeins, and I see that Lisa of Happy Duke has been making these bags, also Passionate Kelsey, and I don't like projects that have a lot of chaining, and this is all chains and single crochet, chains and single crochet, and I don't like that at all. But I decided to give it a try, and I made one of the French market bags. So I had, I think, a skein and a little bit of this yellow speckled color. Ran out, so I added this partial skein of red that I had, and then obviously I started with the brown that I had, and I just found, I was going through my scrap bin and I just found another bag in there that had some cotton stuff in there. I thought I was doing pretty good with the cotton. It just keeps multiplying, like Red Heart Super Saver. The more you try to get rid of it, the more it multiplies. But anyway, I made my first market bag. Can't say that I'm a fan, but it was nice to get rid of the yarn. But I don't like projects that's a lot of chaining. I don't. But one bag will go to my craft fair, and if I what's the word, get the motivation to make another one, I have a little bit more cotton that I can piece together to make a new one. All right, that is it for shawls. Oh no, I lied. I have 2 more in progress. I bought this yarn at a big box clearance store. It's one that I hope Ocean State Job Lot. I know it's more on the East Coast, but it's got to be like over 3-4 years ago, pre-pandemic. Has to be. I bought this because I loved the color. It's another clearance. Another clear. I don't think they make this anymore. It's Lion Brand, Mani Petty, and the colors they had. I bought 2 different colorways, and I think I bought like 6 skeins of each. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's giving gothic rainbow. It's giving Halloween. It's just very dark, moody. I love the colorway. But it's sock yarn, and I only bought it, 1, because it was on clearance, and 2, or sale at the big box, and 2, because the colors. The colors. 2 things that get me. Gorgeous saturated colors and clearance sales. So I decided, I forgot it was there. Because back in 22, we had painting done, and I had to clear out this room, my craft room / work from home office, and I packed these away and completely forgot, and I found it last year sometime. I'm like, I gotta do something with it. I can't just keep hiding it. So I decided to do my Yvette shawl, which is just my granny triangle shawl, and I did the center a little different. You can't see it there, but it's a slight variation on the center. But come on, look at this. Look. It's just, it's moody rainbow is what it's giving me. Halloween, moody rainbow. It's like a Halloween rainbow, I guess. I love it. I love it. I love it. And everyone who saw me working on it, because I had it during craft fairs, working on it, because it was smaller at that time, they just love the colors. And it's most of the colors, some pool on one side, others pool on the other. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like the bigger it gets. But I am on, I think, skein number 4. And it is, I'm using a 3mm hook. I should have gone up to at least a 4, because the small yarn is just small yarn, small hook. It's killing me. But it's just so pretty. I can't stand it. That's the only thing keeping me motivated. It's just so pretty. But it's at the point where I basically get through like 1 row, maybe 2, and then I'm done. So it's about to outsize this little bag. This, when I first found Hobby Lobby, well, when they first opened stores here, I found this fabric there, and I loved it, and I think I made 2 things out of it, and I might have gifted 1, but I am desperate to get back into bag making, but I'm finding that I'm a drawstring person more than anything. So if and when I do get back, these will be mostly what I make. I am totally into the drawstring. I like it. I can hook it on my arm and work. There's no zipper to contend with. No zipper to have to try to sew in because it's a pain. But yeah, I've discovered I prefer the drawstring. So anyway, one of my favorite bags by me. And I have a big bag of bags over here. So that's that. And then the other, I have 2 more whips. Let's see. Oh, I meant to say to Rose. Rose likes crochet. Thank you for making my octos. I know Lisa does them occasionally. She has mine and a couple other patterns that she used. But Rose, I get such a thrill when I see your mass production, which is what you do, mass production of my octos. So love it. Thank you. I've mentioned before, one of my favorite yarns is Mandala Ombre. I love the feel. I love after you wash it, it just gets softer. It does bloom a bit, so and I'm not a gauge maker or gauge doer, so take that with a grain of salt. But it does, when you make something, if you make it oversized, once you wash it, it'll bloom a little. So, but I love Mandala Ombre. So I saw a few years ago, what's her name? Crime Scene Knits. I thought her name was Tenzi, I swear, but it's something else. But anyway, she likes the mandala cakes, but the regular mandala, and she is making a shawl, a knit shawl out of each colorway, and I'm like, what a great idea. So I've been doing that, and I think I'm on this is number 8 or 9 for me, and they did come out with 2 other colorways, which I've since purchased. One I repurchased because I forgot I'd already bought it, but another story. And we're probably going to get cut off again. But I'm on pretty sure this is number 9 or 8 or 9. But I'm on this is the Zen colorway. And I'm basically doing the boomerang type shawls. This one isn't quite a boomerang. It's just the boomerang increases and decreases. But this one is just increasing on one side. So it's that type of shawl, the simple garter stitch. I love garter stitch. We were just talking about that at my yarn meetup. I love garter stitch. I love the squish. I love it. Plus you're only knit. There's no anything too extra. So with the boomerang shawls, they're all pretty much the same, except what I'm finding, because I've done right now like 8 different ones. The difference is in how they start and end the rows. Some people do a yarn over, some people do knit front and back. It's just the way they do the increases and decreases is the big difference. So because it's just knit and all garter, every so often I started adding eyelets. So this one, it's just 1 row of eyelets. Others I've done eyelets, a couple of rows of solid, and another row of eyelet just to break up the monotony. But this one has been in a timeout for quite a while. But I started this last year. It's not a timed project, it's just whenever. And I think there are up to 13 colors of the Mandala Ombre. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is number 9 or 8 or 9. So yeah, I think last week I put in maybe 2 rows on that, but before that it's been a while. So that's another whip. And then, excuse the bending, my one other current whip, because I have old whips that are somewhere that I haven't looked at in a bit, but so last year for Z's birthday, Fiber Genie, not last year, the year before. Last year's 2023 I think was the first year. Fiber Genie did a colorway in her honor, and it's, yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a long video. It's been a while. So Fiber Genie does tiny batch of limited edition hand dyed yarn, and this one was called Z's Groovy Birthday. So a lot of us did the purchasing. Gorgeous colors. I just had mine there, and I knew it was either going to be a hat or a shawl. And when we went on vacation to visit Minion 1 in October, I've always wanted to do a Stephen West shawl, but his shawls are very out there. But he does have a few simple ones. And one is the Age of Brass and Steam. It's a free one on Ravelry. It's a kerchief, but you can just keep going and make it bigger. So I'm basically using Z's yarn. Oh, and the yarn came with, oh no, oh, I thought I lost it. Oh no. So that was the cake of Z's groovy birthday. It's DK weight, 295 yards, 100% superwash merino. But when you buy it, it came with a mini skein. Matches. Well, the back of it matches my nail. Back of my nails matches it, but it came with a mini skein of a solid color. So I will be using that once I run out. So basically the edging it'll be. So I have that much left. It's another one that's been on, I wouldn't say timeout, but it hasn't been getting much love. So I have that. I'll put this back in here. And again, it's on, I think I'm on like 32. Oh, I think I'm going to definitely need to switch cords. But, oh, it's this way. This is how Z, I see. Look at that. Isn't it a beauty? So kind of what I'm doing with the Big Sky shawl, where I'm adding eyelets. This is kind of the same concept. You know, you have solid and then you have eyelets in between. But isn't it pretty? It's just so pretty. Now I've been working on it since October. I literally cast it on in the airport when we were waiting to go. So yeah, it's basically, it is a kerchief. I mean, it'll block out a little, but it's not going to be that huge, but it will be a good little, it'll be like the perfect size. I don't want to drop anything. It'll be the perfect size for a little neck decoration. Take another gander. Look at that. Look at that. It's so pretty. Yep. Yeah. And it's also pooling. It's more of the brighter neon-y pops of colors seems to be more on this side, whereas the slightly pastel-y colors, even though it's not really that pastel, you can see like right here you have more of the warmer colors, where over here the cooler ones are kind of pooling. But it'll make such a lovely little decoration, even though because of, you know, the menopause thing, I can't have things. Even right now my hair is a mess, but I can't have, I'm ready to take the headband off. So you're gonna see my grays once I take that off. But yeah, so that's another whip that's in progress. So I have it in the organza bag it came in. It has a little stitch marker that I have to attach a hook on. And again, we turn everything into a project bag. So I order vitamins, Black Girl vitamins, and it comes in this little drawstring. So I've got 3 of these. So yeah, my knit hat that I take to work is in one. This is in another one, and I have another one that I haven't used that's over there waiting for another project. So oh yeah, so that's where we are. On to amigurumi, and I'm gonna have to take this off because whew, see the grays? Time for a color redo. I keep telling myself I'm just gonna let it grow out, but I don't like the way it makes me look. Nah, it visually ages me too much, but you get to look at it for a little bit because I'm hot. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look at my photo gallery to see if there's anything. I'm gonna have to put a couple of pictures up. Minion 3, which is Minion 1's girlfriend, her birthday was last week, and I made her a couple of amigurumis, and I haven't even posted it on. I made them last minute because he messaged me like I think 11 o'clock at night a couple of days before her birthday and asked me about making her some things. So I made them, and I barely got pictures and I haven't edited them yet, so yeah, I'll have to put up those pictures to see. Yep, I think I've got everything. Ooh, well, I did say I'll put up the pictures of the shawl, so you'll see those. And I think, yeah, I think that's it until I start showing you amigurumis. I'm gonna bend down for a second. So I've seen the little chicks and eggs, and I'm trying not to buy patterns because I have so many patterns I buy, and you just don't get to make them all. Just buy it, 1, to support, and 2, because I like the look of something, and then I never get around to making it, so I'm trying not to. So I decided to wing the chicks and eggs, and I made 2 of them. The first one, basically I just winged them based on, you know, if you know how to crochet, do amigurumis, you can wing things. Doesn't mean it's always going to come out the way you want it, but sometimes you'll surprise yourself. So chicks and eggs, you're gonna focus. There you go. So I made that one. So I was talking about the yarn that I bought from Hirschner's. It's Soho Mystical. Soho Mystical Chenille. It's basically like a skinny chenille, and me and skinny no. So this is doubled. Is it doubled? Pretty sure it's doubled. Yep, it's doubled. Did I triple it? Doubled. So this is one of the colorways. They have, I think they had at the time, you could see little flecks in it. Yeah. They had, I think, like 6 different colorways. It's basically a white base with different flecks. One is like birthday cake, one is fruit bowl, one is, I forget what this one was. But they're very lightly speckled. And they were $1.99. I think now they are $1.50 something the last time I checked. But I bought enough. I bought it twice. At first I bought individual ones, and then I noticed that they had 5 packs. So I ended up buying 5 packs. So I have a lot of them to use up. But anyway, I made my own egg. And then the chick is just like a, I made my own. And then I have those little bits of Go for Fur type yarns that I use for the crown, the cone, whatever it's called. So, and this is just a little bit of Posh. Both of them are Posh, but I had a little bit of green that I used up, and then I ran out, and then I just did some, I forget what color this way is. But yeah. So that's that one. So that's that. And then last night I watched somebody do the chick, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of the same thing I did, but mine was just done in the round. She did hers starting with a chain, so I decided to watch her. And then again, I have little bits, I hate throwing things away, so I have little bits of Go for Fur in this colorway. It's like a burgundy-ish colorway. So I use that on this little one. She's a little, it's a little crooked eyes, and it's a tiny one. And then I ended up making the egg a little too big, and then after I was almost done, was it? No, actually, when I was done cinching it and I put the bird in, I'm like, oh, the chicken's a little too small, but that's alright, it's all the way down. I went to close it. I'm like, why does it look so weird? It's because once you stop increasing, you're supposed to put a few more rounds of that, and I completely forgot to put the rounds. So it's sitting way down in here and it doesn't close properly because, so just picture it as a deformed kind of egg. So anyway, and it's too big for the little one. So there's that. 2 chicks and eggs. And then capybaras. I didn't know capybaras was a thing until last year. Till actually it was the end of 2023 and I had it for the spring fairs of 2024. I bought 2 patterns. One I've used like many times, and then there's a free tutorial I did off YouTube for one. Last year I did like 3 different types, and 2 of them I bought, 1 I did from YouTube. And then these have been popping up when I've been on Pinterest. I try to stay with Pinterest. It's like a Pinterest. It's a black hole. You go down and of course you click on one thing and then it pops you to another. But these have been showing up. And then I get the daily mail notifications for it. So then I'll go, every once in a while I'll go look. And capybaras have been on there. So I found 2 different, the sitting ones. The ones I have are the, the usual standing ones, but these are like the sitting ones. So I figured these will be perfect as a different style for this coming spring fair. This one is all no sew, except for the ears. You're not really sewing it on, you're tying it on because you have the 2 end strings. And after doing it, I'm like, oh, you can just surface crochet and do the same thing, so make it completely no sew on this one. And then this one, you have to crochet the snout and then sew it on, so that's unavoidable. But and then I want to make another one of I think I prefer this one, and I want to make another one but change the bobble stitch colors kind of like this, so it's different. And I didn't mean to do such a light color, but it was the only thing that was close to me at the time. So yeah, not bad at all, not bad at all. So yeah, I can just completely surface crochet on, pick up a stitch and do it there. It's like 2 stitches. So there's that. And these didn't take long at all. So capybaras. I'm just gonna dump everything on the floor. Yesterday I also made, oh, hang on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, yesterday, or last night after work, I also made 3 chicks because spring, and I also have, again, lots of up and down, but I bought this at the Dollar Tree, and I think I had it before it was $1.25, but just chenille or just yarns plush. You have to know what you're doing because you can't see the stitches. I hold it with a yarn that's the similar color, so it makes it a little easier because I'm in no mood to fight with yarns and stitches. But I think I had this whole one and half of one, and that's what I have left of this. And then I have a beigey color one as well. Basically trying to use up all the yarn I bought at the Dollar Tree between November and December last year. So I made a chick, and I believe if I can find it in my history, I will put the link. But this was a YouTube tutorial. These were all YouTube tutorials. Yeah, so this is worked bottom up, all no sew, and then the feet is just embroidered on. So all no sew, embroidered on feet. So yeah, I may do another one of these, and then is it both? One. Just simple birds. They were not, the tutorial was just for the bird, the little chick, and then I just made it into a swinging one. That's all. So and the yarn I held the fuzzy with were, again, just yarn in the similar colorway, and I had like little balls of them, so I just used it, held it together. So I'm going to try to do a few more of these for spring. Try is the operative word. So that's the cheek, and I've got fiber all over me. So the other thing that I have, because I bought a lot of Dollar Tree yarns for craft fairs, lots of scraps, and I'm like, I had it in so many bags because when I do my weekly yarn meetup, I'll take a project, and sometimes I change bags, and I have multiple bags with partial skeins and all that. So I'm like, all right, we got to do something about it. So I amassed all the just chenille yarn scraps, and I crocheted. This is another pattern that I bought. It's Toy Story Patterns AU on Etsy. It seems like her patterns are forever on sale. They're like $1 something. You can't go wrong. I think Lisa of Happy to Hook, no, not Lisa, Kim? It was Kim of Happy to Hook put me onto her, and when I first went, I think I bought like $20 worth of patterns. I've made quite a few of them, so not bad. But one of them is a mini puppy, and the mini ones are supposed to be like keychains, but of course, any patterns like that, you can change the yarn. Once you change the yarn size, you can have a keychain size be like a full-size, regular full-size pattern if you just change the yarns. I did that for a capybara that I made for my spring fair that didn't sell in the spring, but it sold during the fall. It's one of the YouTube tutorials, and the tutorial is done in cotton with a 2mm yarn. Supposed to be a keychain, and I made it, and it's like I sold it for like $30 because it was pretty big. So anyway, all that to say, scraps. I amassed all my scraps of the just chenille, and this is the mini puppy. So this was, which was the first one I did? I don't remember the first one. I think this was the first one, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm still working on shaping the eyes the way I want it, but it'll do. So basically, I just took 2 colors. I think I started with, I had a lot of balls of the rust color, just chenille, and I just held it. I made the appendages first so you could see the rust color is in most of them, and I just held it with whatever yarn came up next. So nothing matches. It's like a patchwork dog. I love that. I had a little bit of this one's not even just chenille. It's I'm pretty sure it was a blanket yarn, but it's, for some reason it was like a thinner one, so it worked out here. But I like that the black on the top. But yeah, and this one I embroidered the nose. So scraps used, and then I think I used a different size hook. Yeah. Oh, when I look at the pattern, I don't know what I did here, but this is a little angled, and it's more bulbous around it in the pattern, so I don't know what I did there. So I did it again, and I made this one. And can you tell what's in this one? Latte baby. And if you look at it, it's just and this one I gave the safety nose. But yeah, all different. You can see I had a lot of the yellow, so that came into play. I still had some of the browns. I had a speckly brown as well. So scraps. This will appeal to somebody because it never fails at the craft fair. There's something that I either think is hideous or no one will ever buy, and somebody comes around and then it's like it was made for them. So yeah, I'm hoping these attract somebody, that patchwork, cozy, comfy feeling. So yeah. Oh, and I had a little, literally had like maybe 18 inches of a black, and I used that as well, and see how it came out up here. Love that. So yeah, same pattern, but I guess I paid attention more here than here. But I think, pretty sure I had a different size hook on one of them, but doesn't matter. Patchwork. All right, and then on Pinterest, like I said, I have a lot of things saved. Just like in my Ravelry library, I have a lot of things saved that will never get around to it. There's just not enough lifetime to get to all. I think I'm close to like 7,000 things in my Ravelry library, and maybe I've made like 100 patterns. I should check, I think. But anyway, speaking of scraps, so I had a couple of balls of partial blanket yarn from, you know, the previous seasons of amigurumi making. So, and they're just there, and they keep like falling off the shelves because they're kind of perched. So I'm like, I need to do something with it. Snakes were I can't stand snakes, by the way, but they were a good seller for me when I did make them. I think there was just one show where I brought it that I left with snakes. Usually, whenever I brought them, they sold. And the newest thing, there's so many patterns that I'm doing my own thing. Unless you want a specific head shape. If you're following a pattern, once you do that, then you can just, you know, because you're just crocheting for miles and miles after that. This is a YouTube tutorial, but the latest thing that's out there now is like the coily one, where you don't have to put anything in it. And again, I'm trying not to buy more patterns, but I just ended up buying it because I'm like, damn it, I followed a different pattern and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted, and I didn't like this person was having you do double crochets in there, and I'm like, no, we're not putting double crochets where you have to put in fiber fill. That's gonna poke up. Not happening. Even though this person does the yarn under, which makes it a little tighter, which I don't, hurts my hand, but still, double crochets I don't like. Maybe as a little accent area, but not where she wanted it. So hers was supposed to be the coily kind of snake. God, doesn't that look real? So I started doing it the way, so it's a YouTube tutorial. I started doing it, and you can see it's curving, and for most of it it's using half double crochets and single crochets. And again, even half double crochets, it's one thing to do it, you know, in just a small area, but such a large area, half double crochets. Oh, doesn't that look like it could be real? Ooh. But then halfway through, she had you change to double crochets, and that's when I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I kind of kept the half double crochets. Wow, this is really going to be a long video. And then I kind of did my own thing, like, I think when I got to about here. Yeah, I did my own thing from here. So it's not that spirally coil, but it's definitely got coil shaped to it, so it's very, very real. Ugh, God, it grosses me out even like that. So yeah, that's that one. It's not just like a long straight thing. It definitely has movement to it. Ugh, God almighty. All right, so I used my scraps of just chenille. I also have a lot of scraps of like blanket yarns or the number 6 chenilles, and I decided to use those as well. And I thought I did something else with that. Oh, the first scrap puppy that I did, mostly it's just chenille, but I did have some home slim, because those tend to be they're a little lighter than the blanket yarn. So I used some of that in there as well, what I had of scrap balls. But then I pulled out, like I said, all my blanket yarn scrap balls, and I'm like, I'll just make a snake. So this one I did myself with the shape. And I want to say it is blanket yarn, but it's a little thick. They basically, like all yarns, even if it's the same line, some colorways a little thicker, a little thinner. So it's pretty much all blanket yarn I think one of them in here is the Big Twist Plush, which is a little thicker than blanket yarn. But it all worked out. But again, I did my own head. And I started using the half double. I wanted to use the same technique, but I didn't want to do half double crochets. So I started doing single crochets in slip stitch instead of single crochets and half double crochets. But it was taking forever to, I did it probably to here, and it was just taking forever, and it wasn't curving fast enough. So I guess that's what the half double crochet is, which is why I bought the other pattern, because I wanted to see the technique, to see if I was on the right track kind of thing, and then do my own. But as you can tell, again, it doesn't coil. Oh, now my battery's flashing, so I'm gonna have to switch it. Like I said, long video. But yeah, that one I also did my own. Basically, I borrowed the half double crochet and single crochet from the previous one, and everything else I did on my own. So the half double crochet goes from about here to here, and then winged it. So I'm pretty much all out of my number 4, well no, my number 6, like blanket yarn type scrap, and that's probably gonna shut off on me. And I have Thick and Quick scraps, but I think I'm gonna use those for the scrappy hats. Because I started talking after I changed my battery, and I realized I didn't hit record. So, I forget. I think I was talking about this. It's done. I'm hoping it interests somebody at the craft fair. The patchworky uniqueness of it, and the fact that it's all curly coily. And the other thing I said was that I noticed that most of the people I see making them in the videos are smaller stakes, and mine are pretty hefty size, so there's that. So for the spring fairs, I wanted to make springy type things, so I figured bunnies. And I think I started talking about Pinterest, where I have a lot of things saved and a lot of things I want to make, a lot of things that interest me, but I save it and then I forget about it. So I'm going there, just like I'm going to my Ravelry library and seeing the things that I've saved that I should be making. So bunnies. They're bunnies. There are a bear, a teddy bear. I used to make those, not often, but enough, but I haven't made them in a while. But anyway, I saw this bunny. Well, there's a lot of bunny patterns that you can pull up on Pinterest, but the Soho Mystical, I really like this one. It's like white with like peaches and pinks speckles. So I made it. I didn't think it was going to be this small, but look at the colorway. I don't know if you could see it. It's the white base with peaches and pinks. But I had, which matched perfectly, I have some Parfait Chunky, which I bought it after the quality debacle, and I still don't like it, and I'm not going to be buying it again. I do like the colorways, but I don't like working with it. It's terrible. And I can see why Michaels also doesn't have the Home Slim on the shelves, because it's like they made them in the same factory or the man, whoever it is, because it's terrible too. It just, if you go to pull it out, you get all these little divots in the yarn where it just all pulls apart. It's terrible, so don't like it. But anyway, bunnies. I made the bunny Parfait Chunky. Put me down that rabbit hole. No pun intended. But this peachy color, I forget what it was called, but it matched this so perfectly. So I made this little bunny, and then I'm like, oh, this came out so tiny. I didn't mean it to be so tiny. So that was number 1 in the Soho Mystical held double with Parfait Chunky. So I decided, no, That's too tiny for all that effort. So the gift that I had made for Minion 3, the girlfriend, I ended up buying Big Twist Plush, which is a number 6, but a little thicker than blanket. I had some left, so I decided to make the bunny in that. I think I had to go back and get some more. No, I made this one first. So, whoops. This is the Soho Mystical and Parfait Chunky. And then this is the Big Twist Blush. So the pattern comes with a bow. I made the bow the first time, but I wanted something different, so I just made a flower out of worsted weight. And the middle is, I think, a little burlap blanket, or whatever it is. But, so yeah, I made it again. And you can see the size difference. So these were the colors that I made the birthday present for Minion 3 in there. And then I'm like, oh, I have little, you know, girl bunnies. And I had some yarn left. And you can tell where I ran out. So I made a boy bunny. Since I made the body in green with the dress in purple, I made the body in purple and used the green, but I ran out of purple. Did I run out of purple? I ran out of green and purple, but I had this Bernat blanket yarn. It's one of the, do they have a mystical? No, it's one of the speckly, is it the frosted? Whatever it's called, but it's this one, and I think it complemented. So I ran out here. The pattern is just for the plain bunny with no color changes or clothing type. It did the you know, the dress, but there was no, for the boy it was just one color, so I decided to give him a shirt. And then I ran out, so that's where I added the little edge to the shirt to give it some interest, so that I could pick up the color here for the bow. The bow is not part of the or the bow tie is not part of the pattern, and it's different than the bow tie. It's different than the bow pattern in the original, so I just did a square and cinched it. That, and then because I ran out, I added this here to tie it all in together, like it was purposeful. So yeah. 3 bunnies. And these I think I did last week, but that's for spring. I'm going to try a different bunny pattern, but maybe something a little smaller, because price-wise these might be off-putting to some people. And then I've had a sheep pattern saved on my personal computer for a while. I've meant to make it, and just so I wouldn't forget, I saved it to my taskbar at the bottom, so it'll always be there, and I still haven't gotten to it. And I think that one calls for doing the loops, and I don't want to do the loop stitch. So because I don't know why, it just kept popping up on in Pinterest, and I saw this one, I'm like, oh, I'll make it. Doesn't look too bad. What I didn't like was, so this is supposed to be a sheep, but it gives me more monkey vibes. But when I was making it, I'm like, the proportions don't look the same. That's because in the pattern, for the ears, the arms and legs, and the muzzle, they use worsted weight yarn with a much smaller hook. And then for this, they use number 6 chenille type yarn. So this looks much smaller, and of course over here it looks big and bubbly and all that. So obviously it changed the look of it. So this is the Soho Mystical that I doubled. I doubled, yep. And I used it here, and then for here I used Posh yarn. So it doesn't really give it the big bubbly look, but it's supposed to be sheep, but all I see is monkey for some reason. Yeah, I think it's the eyes that's doing it for me. But anyway, it's whatever whoever buys it wants it to be. And I don't think it included a tail, and I included the tail. I'm pretty sure it didn't include the tail, and I included it because it helps it sit. But I like the dangly legs and all. But yeah, I'm gonna put the Soho Mystical to good use by doubling it up. So, okay, almost there. I think, oh no, I got a couple more, and then I think we're done. It's gonna be a beast to edit, to put it all together. Okay, I admire those people who do the videos and don't edit, because my life doesn't allow for no editing. Alright, so sticking with the Soho Mystical, I tripled it now this time. With the others, I used 2 skeins and pulled, hold the two strands together. With this one, I did the, how you can convert a number 4 yarn to a number 3 by pulling the loop through. So that's what I did for this one. And remember I said I wanted to make teddy bears, because I used to make them often enough. So another one showed up on Instagram, and I clicked through, and I'm like, oh, looks and seems easy enough. So, oh, was this the one that didn't have a tail that I gave a tail? One of these didn't have a tail. Either the sheep or this, and I gave it a tail. I think it was the bear that didn't have a tail. Doesn't matter. Anyway, off Pinterest. What I'm finding on Pinterest, a lot of the free patterns, 2 things. The picture, barring all the AI stuff that shows up there that just annoys the crap out of me, but you'll see a picture and it looks, oh, that looks so nice, and you click on it and it's not really the pattern that the picture shows. Sometimes that picture is another list. There are other pictures on that, wherever that page it takes you to. It's a free pattern site, basically. I guess they just they aggregate free patterns from different places, and they have other, so they'll do a teddy bear, but then they'll have other teddy bears that you can, other ideas of teddy bears, but they use one of those pictures as the main drawer because it's like obviously the cutest looking one, so that's what you click on thinking that that's what it's going to be, and most of the time it leads you to a different pattern. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. But anyway, the other thing with them is that it's translated from somebody else's pattern. One of the ones I just did, which was it? I forget. I think it was one of the capybara. No, that was a video. I did one somewhere, and I forget which one it is. Anyway, it translated the, the head, the body, the whatever, but then there was absolutely no instructions of what to put where and how to put it together. So again, you have to know what you're doing, and you can look at the picture for reference and do that. But a lot of the free patterns that you see, it's translated from somewhere else. One of them was a Russian person. The pattern belonged to a Russian person, and I even Googled the name and went on Instagram, because I like to give credit to whoever pattern it is, but that person doesn't have any media handlings out there attached to that name. So all this to say, I think it was this one that the parts of the pattern were clear enough, but there were no instructions to put them together, what to put where, whatever. So you have to kind of know what you're doing. But I did a teddy bear with the Soho Mystical. Tripled. And this, to me, it felt like old school, even though it's not, where you have to sew on everything, because we've gotten so used to like no-sew patterns that, you got to make the arms, the legs. They were, was this the one? They were crocheted in. Yeah, so this wasn't the one, but this one was, it was crocheted in as you go. I forget which pattern it was. I did one of the patterns that didn't give you instructions, but this one, I'm pretty sure it was, were they sewed in, or did I do it on my own? I might have done it on my own, so this might have been it. Yeah, I think this is the one I did it on my own and just attached it where I thought it would go. So yeah, Soho Mystical This is the, I think this is the birthday cake. Is it the fruit punch? Birthday cake. Kind of like birthday sprinkles, tripled. And then this is just some Posh that I used for there. And this one has a safety nose. So, teddy bear with the tail. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the one that didn't have the tail that I had to sew on, that I gave it a tail, and it helps it, again, sit properly. So, nice big bear. So I do want to make another one maybe in chenille, maybe a little smaller for price, you know, price-wise. Because people do tend, depends on the craft fair, they do tend to turn their nose up, but while I'm over that, as far as capitulating to people, I do want to have something to draw them in and to offer different varying price ranges. Okay, two more. Loaf cat. I didn't use any one specific pattern. It's just, it's a loaf cat. You can add baubles. So this was a little bit left over from Snaky, so I used that here, and then I used some gray, this is the Mystical yarn, it's a little thinner than this. I used that for the body, but I wanted to give the face some distinction since this is so dark. But yeah, and I didn't do the tube, I just did the, I think, chain 7 and crocheted back down. So yeah, got a little red butt to match the red nose. So just one. I want to make some that's a little smaller. Again, price range options. And then other thing, this is one of the patterns I bought. Mostly no sew. Well, not no sew, low sew. You have to sew on the legs and then surface on the spikes, but the body is one piece. This is an Etsy pattern. This person has, it's like on sale, it's been on sale for a while for like $2 something. They have a modification or a different version where the mouth is open. I didn't want to have to do all that, so as little as possible. So this I had to go because I saw Kim was talking about the Home Slim not being around when she was looking for, no, in December I was looking for the rust color of Home Slim to do something. Couldn't find it anywhere. My friend and I went to like two or three stores. Couldn't find, I went to 2 or 3 stores. We together went to a different store. Couldn't find it, and I ended up using like Dollar Tree yarn, which was similar in color. But I had a cake of the agave color, and somebody else was talking about how they couldn't find the Home Slim. I think it was Kim, and she was searching and it just wasn't on the Michaels store. So I think Kim said you had to search for it, click on the link, and then it brought you back to Michaels. And I decided to just go see if they had it, because it wasn't online, and I think it was on Amazon for more than I was willing to pay for it. So I went onto the store, and they had, I think, 3 left, and 2 of them was definitely a different dye lot, and the texture was off too. But thankfully, this one matched perfectly. You can't really tell any difference. So now I have another half a cake of this yarn. So we'll have to see. I might just do like, maybe I'll do a little frog. Yeah. Is it Mom's Chatty? No. One of the patterns I bought off Etsy. I might do a frog just to use it up. But yeah. This wasn't too bad. It was a little fiddly doing this. And I was reading reviews on the pattern, and people were talking about, stuffing is all sticking out. I have to pull those all out. About the attaching the legs and blah blah blah, and I didn't think it was too bad attaching the legs. This way it makes it sturdy, but they were talking about crocheting it in as you go, and to do that you would have to, like, you know, crochet the ends together and then crochet it in. So if I make this a little floppier, where this is definitely just on there sturdy, because you sew it on, you don't sew it on. You crochet the legs first, and then afterwards, because you leave an opening, no, take that back. Leave an opening, and then you pick up stitches at the end and crochet. So that's what makes it fiddly, to crochet around, and because the body's already done, it's a little fiddly maneuvering around the finished body when you pick up stitches. So it's not bad. Yeah, not bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, actually it came out pretty good, sturdy. There was a comment about the face shaping and the eyes, and just trust the process. It works out. It's different, but it works out. So yep, I might actually give it another try. Maybe in a number 5 weight. Maybe the Posh, actually. It'll definitely, because the Posh is sturdier, but it'll definitely be smaller. And I have the green. Bok Choy, I think, is the green. So that, I think, is all. I'm currently working on another pattern off of off of Pinterest, and it's supposed to be like a mouse. It's a plush mouse. These are all like a plush sheep, a plush bunny, a plush teddy. So I found a mouse that was cute, so I'm using the Posh yarn to see how that works out. I think that's all. I have a lot. Oh, completely forgot. This is there. I'm gonna have a lot of pictures to put in, but Sophie's scarf. Now that blew up. I even bought the pattern. I started it. I put it down, and I completely lost track of where I am. So it's somewhere that it's another project I have to frog. But this is, there obviously, when things are popular, there are a lot of either knockoffs or different takes on it. And this was a crochet version, which is pretty simple if you know. Once you do it, you're like, oh yeah, it's just you start one end, increase, then decrease. You pretty much make that. What was unique about this is she has you do a I-cord edging, and I kept messing up the I-cord edging, and then I'm like, ugh, I'm not futzing with that. So I just did a wrapped single crochet. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference. On the back end it looks like the back of a single crochet, but on the front end, you know, it looks almost like it has a purl bump. But I used Touch of Alpaca, again, some deep stash I've had for, what are we in, 2025, so about 5 years plus maybe, I've had there. And I made mine a little bigger because I wasn't paying attention and I just kept increasing, so I'm like, I'm not tearing it back, so I just kept it at a certain width, and I just went with it. And it's supposed to be just, you know, the Sophie scarf, a little neck scarf that you tie. Oh look, I all matched today with my gold type of thing. But yeah, and if you make it not as wide, actually, you can do a little, what is it, Rosie the Riveter headscarf. Oh, this looks terrible. Something like that. Oh. But anyway, a little neck scarf. So that's it. Lots of yarn, lots of things to put back. Lots of headbands I need to sew. I took it off, but the ends aren't fixed, and this is about to go off on me. So on that note, before it clicks off over again, thank you for hanging in there. Who knows when I'll be back, but this was a spur of the moment. I'll just, because it's a long weekend too, so yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for hanging in there, and I will talk to you guys later. Hi to everybody who I normally say hi to and I haven't in a long time. I'm still here. I know you guys are still here. I do try to catch you, but yeah, my thing. Okay, I will talk to you guys later.